Calls for Phillip Lowe to quit rate hikes. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article where politicians are calling on Phillip Lowe not to quit the job. Well, not quite yet, and I'm sure some will, but to at least quit with the rate hikes. Now, the idea is the Reserve Bank is meant to be entirely separate from the politicians. You know, it's meant to be politically neutral. It doesn't feel like it, but that's what it's meant to be. So, well, let's have a look at this here. What do you reckon? Do you think they should quit with their rate hikes? And for those of you playing at home, we can see I updated this chart yesterday. We're now at 2.35%. We were at 0.1%. People are starting to feel the sting, and the mortgage sob story articles are appearing. I like the one where the young lad in his 20s was worried he may have to make changes to his day-to-day living. Someone said in the comments, maybe everyone who gets a house needs to also get a cup or a glass and some concrete to harden the F up. And, well, maybe this is what's happening to us here in Australia, guys. So let's have a look. RBA boss under pressure over fifth consecutive rate hike. Phillip Lowe is facing calls to resign after he broke a major promise to Australian homeowners. And this is how the media reported the fact that rates weren't going to rise until 2024. Now, this should be a lesson to all of you to not trust anything the media puts out, to actually dig deeper into the headlines, and frankly to be skeptical of the Reserve Bank. They're not masters of the economy. The economy is an emergent, complex system, and they're trying to manipulate it with a few little levers. It's, well, fanciful that they think they can fine-tune it, and frankly, I think most of the time it's luck more than anything, and they're trying to psychologically manipulate a lot of people. And we're just along for the ride with the US, to be honest, guys. So let's look here. Phillip Lowe is facing multiple calls to resign after he broke a major promise to Australian homeowners. On Tuesday, Governor Phillip Lowe handed down the fifth consecutive rate hike, lifting the cash rate another 50 basis points to 2.35. The decision has sparked fresh calls for the government to sack Lowe from the role, given he initially told Australians rates wouldn't go up until 2024. And there are going to be people out there, I mean, most of you watching the channel wouldn't be surprised that rates have gone up. I'm not. Just looking at their historical ability to accurately forecast, bloody oath. It's almost like you do the opposite of what they say. But you can not blame people who are used to just trusting the media, trusting what the government tells them, and just, you know, accepting it and thinking, okay, yeah, it won't rise until 2024. Do the sums. We can make it work. We'll sort it out in the future. She'll be right, mate. And, well, now they're learning a hard lesson. I don't think it'll be as calamitous and a huge crash down of property as some people are predicting. Like, people are predicting property falls, like Sydney property going back 10 years. You can't build houses for that money, guys. If that happens, the rental yield will be insane. You could buy a house, then pull it apart for spares and sell it and keep the land. We can all dream. Maybe, guys, maybe. Anyway, so that is a massive stuff up that's going to have really significant financial impacts on the lives of millions of Australians. Greens Treasury spokesman Nick McKim told Nine. He got it badly wrong. On that basis alone, Dr. Lowe should go. And, well, I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with the Greens politician, honestly. I mean, that's the number of calls they've gotten wrong in predicting the economy. And the problem is people make financial decisions based on this. I don't care what anyone says. They do. They listen to the news. I mean, people make financial decisions based on YouTubers. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Don't do it, guys. Because I mean, seriously, particularly all the ones who are boisterous and showing off and talking all this shit. It's all fake bullshit, guys. It really is. It's all fake crap. I mean, come on. Particularly, you know, the gurus. Most of them make money selling you courses on how to make money. That's how they make their money. That's the meta. You know, that's the meta scam. So, anyway. And is Lowe any different? So, Australia's central bank has now raised interest rates for 5 months in a row in its most aggressive rate rise since '94. It has added hundreds to mortgage holders' repayments, but Dr. Lowe insists the central bank was committed to doing what is necessary to bring inflation back to the bank's 2 to 3% target. Now, if they fail to bring inflation back under control, if this one lever they pull can't do that, are we going to question the axiom of this approach to economic management? Maybe it's time we abandon the Keynesian school and looked at some of the other schools of economic theory. Why not? What have we got to lose? So many people are going to struggle now, or maybe it's the valuable lesson that people learn to not trust the hand of the RBA. The RBA governor has previously said he expects inflation to tip 8% later this year. Explaining the rate rise to his followers on TikTok, comedian Luke McGregor questioned Dr. Lowe's claims households had large enough savings to buffer to weather the storm. Well, some will. Some will definitely have enough savings to weather the storm. Some people have saved a lot, but I wonder if those people that have saved a lot are going to be the ones that are really at risk. I mean, I've got enough money sitting aside to weather the storm, and I'm sure a lot of you have as well. But I've also locked in till 2024 because I didn't trust a word that they said. The biggest issue or the biggest risk are going to be the people who just got into the market, haven't had time to reinflate their savings buffer. I mean, how many people do you think took out their super, used all their savings, everything they could to get a deposit together, to scrape it together to get in the housing market? And I can't blame them, because being a renter sucks in Australia. There's a class divide here, guys. There really is. This to me just feels really out of touch with what people are going through, he said. Well, I mean, Lowe's earns $1 million a year, and he's, a bureaucrat. He's a bureaucrat. He wouldn't be in touch with reality. A lot of people don't have large financial buffers. A lot of people are going to be adversely impacted by their mortgages going up. A lot of people aren't necessarily getting a massive pay rise right now. Well, he's right, but don't worry, mate. Don't worry, Lukey. The APRA will just let people extend their mortgages. We'll bring back mortgage holidays, and then good old Albo will come to the rescue and buy 40% of your house for you. This shared equity shit, this is the stuff of nightmares. That literally is, one step down the path to state control of all your housing. The whole "you will own nothing" meme from that bloody World Economic Forum advertisement. Well, our own government approaches to making housing more affordable is leading us down that path. And that's not what you want. You don't want everyone living in state housing. You want people being independent, free thinking, have their own means. Well, I guess that's what I would want. That may not necessarily be what our politicians or the average Australian wants. Anyway, it's people who are already doing it tough that tend to spend on essentials and not much else and are going to be hurting the most from this. So Dr. Lowe quit it. National Senator Matt Canavan agreed with the comedian and his Green colleague in a move that left today's host Ali Langdon shocked. The Reserve Bank failed. There is no doubt about that. I think this RBA governor should have gone when he promised to not raise rates until 2024. Now he's broken that promise 5 times, he said. There has to be no accountability. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has repeatedly dismissed calls to intervene, citing the Reserve Bank's independence from the government, which I'm assuming is underneath that advertisement, which I can't get rid of. So let's talk about this one. How about we don't even worry about Lowe? We just get rid of the entire Reserve Bank. What do you reckon? Let's just go old school, guys. Let's just go old school, go right back to the old ways, get rid of the Reserve Bank, maybe have multiple different currencies flowing through Australia, or just give up on it and adopt the US dollar. Okay. Oh, boy. I mean, this is going to sting some people. And frankly, this is the lesson some people need to learn. It's going to be a hard lesson. And we've all been through it. Shit hits the fan, you got to deal with it. And I am confident that majority of people will deal with it, will get quite frustrated and learn some valuable lessons, but we'll hear about the drama queens and the bloody people blaming others for their problems. I mean, that's how the media works. So guys, what do you reckon? You think Lowe should quit? Or should he keep going? Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International for other content I create. If you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. Financially on YouTube or Patreon. And here's the thing. Don't support a YouTuber or any content creator if you're struggling to pay your bills. That's the first stuff you cancel. Okay, number one. You can use referral links to help your creators when you don't want to spend any money. But then again, if you're doing that tight, you shouldn't be buying Amazon or, I guess, AussieBroadband. Internet's a necessity these days. You can make money from the internet, isn't it? But pocket squares, everyone needs a pocket square. You can use them for a million uses. Check those out. Call us if you need an architect, guys. I'll see you next time. Fun times, eh? Fun times.